I can definitely speak on the fatigue part because um, for me, I've been working for Lasso for all these different like organizations throughout my 4 years, and I I do it for my community, and I don't do it for recognition. And a lot of the things that happen like on campus is like all these people are like I feel like a lot of people like praise like certain um like statuses like Greek life or honor societies and different different organizations that like imposes like hierarchy um, on campus. And I feel like personally, like speaking from experience, like I'm personally tired of like not seeing like a response from the institution, not seeing a response. And that's why like I've continued like slowly like just like taking away my like myself from certain like causes because it's just like I don't see any change. I don't see um I don't see a purpose of me joining this organization or applying to this organization, or because I don't see the response from the institution. Like I've never seen the response. And then you have um you have like events where like yesterday we have Dolores Huerta, like an like icon um from like the Latinx community and just the United States as a whole because she was the leader in the civil rights movement. You have 40 people show up, and then you have an event led by Greek Life, and you have 300 people uh, show up. So it's just for me, it's just like there is definitely some hypocrisy. There is definitely some like it's been very hard for me to like just come to terms with like okay, I guess I cool yeah I'm not gonna feel that like welcome. I'm not gonna feel like I belong because of this different like groups that like impose the stratification and impose like a the means of like what's important and what's not important. And yeah, just speaking from experience and just speaking from my personal experience at Colgate.
I think I really relate to that because as someone who like I feel like this past like summer and like this semester I've tried to like really do things and like at my own events like for 13 days of education I would get like 40 people at an event and I'd be like that's such good turnout. I would be so proud of like 40 people. And then the racism and Greek life event got like 350, something like that. And I just don't I understand that like that's reaching a wide audience, but me putting an event that I worked so hard on the Colgate calendar is getting some of the same traction. I'm putting it on all my group me's. I'm doing all this, and it's like you're never gonna get the same recognition because you're not part of those like upper like echelon Colgate circles. But it's like my thing is like arguably like more important, and like Dolores Huerta is like more important than like your discussion about Greek life and colorism that isn't going to get anywhere. Maybe that's like too far, but I just think it's frustrating that like students choose to like put their students and faculty also like just choose to put their efforts into things that they're only required to do first of all, and second of all they don't expand their social circles at all. So like I lead South Asian Cultural Club. No one except for South Asians show up to my events. And I don't know if you guys feel that in the Latinx community, but like I like try to make the effort to like go to my other like I'll go to sword events, I'll go to brothers events. Lasso, I went like okay, I'm not trying to brag, but like I make the effort. It'd just be nice if like other people put in that same thing.
Thank you for sharing. And I think just the Heritage Month does bring that up, and I'm pretty sure like for me, I think that's like what brought up for me personally, like just experiencing Latinx Heritage Month as a person that's organizing events, that's organizing all these things, and then you're like, wait, why am I doing this? Like I said, you're important for them. It's important for me for sure, but then when you don't get like the traction that you want, like when you don't get the attention of the people that should be listening to us, or like that should be listening to the conversation, you're just like, well, it's kind of like I've shared this everywhere. I've contacted the president. I've contacted all the social media accounts like at Colgate, and there's still like no response. So for me, Heritage Month also meant that, you know, realizing like just like okay, this is your reality, you know, like you're Latino, and like you're definitely like not like, I feel like not important to the institution, to be honest. Like um and it's sad. It's very hard to like deal with that. And like the conversations on well-being and like continuing the conversation. And I think part of, I don't know, I think it's a good space to have, you know, like for me personally right now. Because apart from sharing what Latinx Heritage Month means to me, I'm also like getting to share like what it did to like my mental health state, you know.